What if the sadness you feel, the lack of motivation, the constant mental heaviness isn't only happening in your mind? What if the real source of depression is hiding somewhere most people never think to look? Inside your gut. It might sound surprising, but scientists are now discovering that the health of your digestive system can strongly influence your mood, emotions, and even the way your brain functions every single day. And if your gut is inflamed, your brain might be suffering because of it. For many years, depression has been widely understood as a condition that begins entirely in the brain. People often hear that it is simply a chemical imbalance, something happening inside the mind that affects emotions, thoughts, and behavior. While the brain certainly plays a central role in mood regulation, modern research is revealing that the story may be much more complex than previously believed. Scientists are now discovering that another major system in the body may be deeply involved in shaping emotional health, and that system is the digestive system. What happens in the gut may influence how the brain feels and functions in ways that were once overlooked. The digestive system is not just responsible for breaking down food and absorbing nutrients. It is also home to a vast and complex ecosystem of microorganisms known as the gut microbiome. These microorganisms include trillions of bacteria that live inside the intestines and perform many important roles for the body. They help digest food, support the immune system, regulate inflammation, and even produce important chemical signals that travel throughout the body. In recent years, scientists have begun to recognize that these gut microbes may also play a significant role in influencing mood, behavior, and mental health. The gut and the brain are connected through a powerful communication system often referred to as the gut-brain axis. This connection involves nerves, hormones, and immune signals that allow the digestive system and the brain to constantly exchange information. One of the most important pathways in this connection is the vagus nerve, a long nerve that runs from the brainstem down to the digestive organs. Through this nerve and other signaling systems, the gut can send messages to the brain about the body's internal state. These messages can influence stress responses, emotional regulation, and even cognitive function. When the gut environment is balanced and healthy, this communication between the gut and the brain tends to support stable mood and emotional resilience. Beneficial bacteria help regulate inflammation, produce helpful metabolites, and support the production of important neurotransmitters. However, when the balance of the gut microbiome is disrupted, problems can begin to develop. Poor diet, chronic stress, lack of sleep, medications, and environmental toxins can all shift the balance of bacteria in the digestive system. When harmful bacteria begin to dominate, the gut may become inflamed and the normal communication between the gut and the brain may become disturbed. Inflammation in the digestive system does not always stay limited to the gut itself. Inflammatory signals produced in the gut can enter the bloodstream and travel to other parts of the body, including the brain. Once these signals reach the brain, they can influence the way certain brain chemicals are produced and regulated. Neurotransmitters that control mood, motivation, and emotional stability may begin to change in response to these signals. Over time, this may contribute to feelings of sadness, fatigue, mental fog, and reduced emotional resilience. Because of this growing understanding, many researchers now believe that depression may sometimes involve both the brain and the body working together in complex ways. Instead of viewing depression only as a disorder of brain chemistry, scientists are increasingly exploring how systems like digestion, immunity, and inflammation may also play important roles in shaping mental health. The digestive system, once considered separate from emotional well-being, is now being recognized as a powerful contributor to how the brain experiences mood and emotional balance. Inside the human body, the gut and the brain are connected through a highly complex communication network known as the gut-brain axis. This system acts like a two-way information highway, constantly sending signals back and forth between the digestive system and the brain. For a long time, scientists believed that the brain was the main control center directing the body's organs, including digestion. While that is partly true, modern research has revealed that the gut is not simply a passive organ receiving instructions. Instead, it actively communicates with the brain and can influence how the brain functions, how emotions are processed, and how the body responds to stress. One of the key components of this communication system is the nervous system, particularly a large nerve called the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve acts like a direct communication cable between the gut and the brain. It carries signals from the digestive organs up to the brain and also sends instructions from the brain back down to the digestive system. Through this pathway, the brain can influence digestion, appetite, and nutrient absorption, while the gut can send messages that affect mood, alertness, and emotional responses. This constant exchange of information allows both systems to stay closely coordinated. Another important part of the gut-brain axis involves hormones. Hormones are chemical messengers that travel through the bloodstream and affect how organs behave. The digestive system produces a variety of hormones that regulate hunger, fullness, metabolism, and stress responses. These hormones do not only influence digestion, they also interact with areas of the brain responsible for emotions and decision-making. For example, certain gut hormones can signal to the brain when the body is satisfied after eating, while others influence energy levels and motivation. When the balance of these hormones is disrupted, it can affect both physical health and emotional well-being. The immune system also plays a major role in the gut-brain connection, a large portion of the body's immune cells are located in the digestive system because the gut constantly encounters foreign substances from food and the environment. When the immune system in the gut detects potential threats, it produces inflammatory signals designed to protect the body. However, if this immune activity becomes excessive or chronic, those inflammatory signals can travel through the bloodstream and reach the brain. Once in the brain, these signals can influence how brain cells communicate and how mood-related chemicals are produced. The gut microbiome adds another layer to this communication network. Trillions of bacteria living in the digestive tract produce their own chemical signals, many of which interact with the nervous system and the brain. Some of these microbes produce compounds that affect neurotransmitters, the chemicals responsible for sending messages between brain cells. These neurotransmitters influence mood, concentration, motivation, and emotional stability. When the gut microbiome is balanced, it can help support healthy brain function. But when the microbial balance is disturbed, the signals sent to the brain may change in ways that affect mental health. Because the gut-brain axis involves nerves, hormones, immune signals, and microbial activity, it forms a highly integrated system that links digestion with emotional and cognitive processes. Changes in the gut environment can alter the signals traveling to the brain, and those changes can influence how the brain responds to stress, regulates mood, and processes emotional experiences. This constant dialogue between the gut and the brain shows that emotional health is not determined by the brain alone, but is shaped by multiple systems working together inside the body. Inside the human digestive system exists a vast and incredibly complex community of microscopic organisms known as the gut microbiome. This ecosystem is made up of trillions of bacteria, along with other microorganisms such as viruses and fungi, all living together within the intestines. Although the idea of bacteria living inside the body might sound harmful, many of these microorganisms are actually essential for maintaining health. Over millions of years, humans and these microbes have developed a symbiotic relationship where both benefit from each other's presence. The body provides these microbes with a place to live and a constant supply of nutrients, while the microbes perform important biological functions that help keep the body functioning properly. One of the most important roles of the gut microbiome is assisting with digestion. Many foods, especially those rich in fiber, cannot be fully broken down by human digestive enzymes alone. Gut bacteria help break down these complex substances into smaller compounds that the body can absorb and use for energy. In this process, the bacteria also produce beneficial byproducts such as short-chain fatty acids, which help nourish the cells lining the intestines and support overall digestive health. These compounds also play a role in controlling inflammation and maintaining the integrity of the gut lining. The gut microbiome also plays a significant role in supporting the immune system. In fact, a large portion of the body's immune activity takes place within the digestive tract. The beneficial bacteria in the gut help train the immune system to recognize harmful pathogens while remaining tolerant of harmless substances like food particles. This balance helps prevent excessive immune reactions that could lead to inflammation or autoimmune responses. When the gut microbiome is healthy and balanced, it creates a protective barrier that prevents harmful bacteria from taking over and causing damage to the digestive system. Another fascinating role of gut bacteria involves the production of important chemical compounds that influence the nervous system. Many of these microbes are capable of producing neurotransmitter, like substances or compounds that affect the body's natural neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are the chemical messengers that allow brain cells to communicate with one another. They play a crucial role in regulating mood, memory, motivation, and emotional stability. Some gut bacteria help produce or influence chemicals such as serotonin, dopamine, and gamma-aminobutyric acid, all of which are important for maintaining mental balance and emotional health. Because the gut microbiome influences digestion, immunity, and brain-related chemical signals, it acts as a powerful regulator of overall health. When the microbial community in the gut is diverse and balanced, these systems tend to work smoothly. Beneficial bacteria keep harmful microbes under control, help regulate inflammation, and maintain healthy communication with the brain through the gut-brain axis. This balanced state supports not only digestive comfort, but also stable energy levels and emotional well-being. However, the gut microbiome is highly sensitive to lifestyle factors. Stress levels, sleep quality, medications, or environmental exposures can all influence which types of bacteria thrive in the digestive system. When these factors disrupt the balance of microbes, harmful bacteria may begin to dominate while beneficial ones decline. This imbalance, often referred to as microbial dysbiosis, can interfere with digestion, weaken the immune system, or alter the chemical signals sent to the brain. As scientists continue studying this internal ecosystem, it is becoming increasingly clear that the trillions of microorganisms living in the gut are not just passive residents, but active participants in shaping many aspects of human health, including the way the brain and body function together. One of the most surprising discoveries in modern health research is that a large portion of the body's serotonin is actually produced in the digestive system rather than the brain. Serotonin is often referred to as the happiness chemical because of the important role it plays in regulating mood, emotional balance, sleep patterns, and overall mental well-being. For many years, scientists believed serotonin was mainly controlled by the brain, but research has shown that nearly 90% of the body's serotonin is created within the gastrointestinal tract. This discovery has changed the way researchers understand the relationship between gut health and emotional health. Serotonin functions as a neurotransmitter, which means it helps transmit signals between nerve cells. In the brain, serotonin influences how people experience emotions, handle stress, and maintain emotional stability. When serotonin levels are balanced, individuals tend to feel more emotionally stable, calm, and resilient when facing daily challenges. However, when serotonin levels become disrupted, it can contribute to mood changes, anxiety, sadness, and difficulty managing stress. Because of serotonin's influence on emotional regulation, many treatments for depression aim to increase or stabilize serotonin activity in the brain. The digestive system plays a key role in producing serotonin through specialized cells found in the lining of the intestines. These cells, known as enterochromaffin cells, release serotonin in response to signals from food intake, gut bacteria, and nervous system activity. Although the serotonin produced in the gut does not directly cross into the brain, it still influences the nervous system through the gut-brain communication network. Signals triggered by serotonin activity in the digestive system can travel through nerves such as the vagus nerve, sending messages that affect how the brain responds to emotional and physical signals. The gut microbiome also plays an important role in regulating serotonin production. The trillions of bacteria living in the digestive tract interact closely with the cells responsible for producing serotonin. Certain beneficial bacteria help stimulate the production of serotonin by releasing metabolites and other compounds that influence intestinal cells. When these healthy microbes are present in balanced numbers, they help maintain stable serotonin activity, which supports both digestive function and emotional well-being. However, when the balance of gut bacteria becomes disrupted, serotonin production can also be affected. Factors such as poor diet, excessive sugar consumption, chronic stress, antibiotics, and lack of sleep can alter the composition of the gut microbiome. When harmful bacteria begin to dominate the digestive environment, they may interfere with the normal signaling processes that regulate serotonin production. This imbalance can reduce the efficiency of serotonin signaling and may contribute to emotional disturbances. Inflammation in the digestive system can further complicate this process. When the gut becomes inflamed, the cells responsible for producing serotonin may not function normally. Inflammatory signals can disrupt communication between gut bacteria and intestinal cells, weakening the delicate balance required for healthy serotonin production. Over time, this disruption may influence the signals traveling through the gut-brain axis and alter how the brain regulates mood and emotional responses. Because serotonin influences many aspects of emotional and physical health, the connection between gut function and serotonin production highlights the importance of maintaining a healthy digestive environment. A balanced microbiome, proper nutrition, and reduced inflammation help support the natural processes that regulate serotonin activity within the body. As research continues to explore the gut-brain connection, scientists are increasingly recognizing that emotional health is closely linked to the biological activity taking place within the digestive system. The health of the gut is highly sensitive to the lifestyle choices we make every day, and certain factors can easily disrupt the balance of beneficial bacteria, leading to inflammation and digestive problems. One of the most common influences on gut health is diet. Foods that are highly processed, loaded with refined sugar, or contain artificial additives can alter the composition of the gut microbiome. These foods often feed harmful bacteria, allowing them to multiply rapidly, while depriving beneficial bacteria of the nutrients they need to thrive. Over time, this imbalance can weaken the gut lining, create inflammation, and disturb the natural processes that support overall digestive and emotional health. Chronic stress is another major factor that can negatively impact the gut. When the body is under constant stress, it releases cortisol, the primary stress hormone, which can affect both the gut lining and the composition of the microbiome. Elevated cortisol levels can reduce the population of beneficial bacteria, increase harmful bacteria, and make the gut more permeable, a condition often referred to as leaky gut. A leaky gut allows toxins and inflammatory molecules to escape into the bloodstream, which can trigger immune responses and affect brain function. This demonstrates how the body's response to stress can directly influence both digestive and emotional health. Sleep quality also plays a critical role in maintaining a balanced gut. Poor sleep, irregular sleep patterns, or insufficient rest can disrupt the microbiome, reducing bacterial diversity and weakening the immune system. Sleep deprivation can also increase inflammation in the body, further compromising the gut lining and altering the signals sent through the gut-brain axis. Over time, these changes can contribute to digestive discomfort, fatigue, and even mood disturbances, highlighting the interconnectedness of sleep, gut health, and mental well-being. Certain medications, particularly antibiotics, are another factor that can dramatically affect the balance of gut bacteria. While antibiotics are essential for treating bacterial infections, they are not selective in the bacteria they target. Antibiotics can kill beneficial bacteria along with harmful ones, temporarily reducing the diversity of the microbiome. This disruption can make the gut more susceptible to inflammation and may create an environment where harmful bacteria can overgrow, potentially causing digestive issues and affecting emotional health. Or environmental toxins also influence gut health. Exposure to pollutants, chemicals in processed foods, and household toxins can disturb the gut microbiome, triggering inflammatory responses and weakening the intestinal lining. These environmental factors, when combined with poor diet, stress, lack of sleep, or antibiotic use, can create a cumulative effect that intensifies gut imbalance and inflammation. Over time, this imbalance can disrupt the production of critical chemicals such as neurotransmitters that regulate mood and emotional well-being. Maintaining a healthy gut requires understanding how these lifestyle factors interact and taking steps to support a balanced microbiome. A diet rich in fiber, whole foods, and fermented foods can nourish beneficial bacteria, while stress management techniques, quality sleep, and careful use of medications help reduce harmful influences. Minimizing exposure to environmental toxins, combined with these supportive measures, can strengthen the gut lining, reduce inflammation, and promote overall health. By addressing these factors, individuals can create an environment in the gut that not only supports digestion, but also enhances mood, cognitive function, and emotional resilience, highlighting how closely physical and mental health are interconnected. When harmful bacteria begin to dominate the gut, the balance of the microbiome becomes disrupted, and inflammation can start to develop in the digestive system. This inflammation is the body's natural response to a perceived threat intended to protect tissues and repair damage. However, when inflammation becomes chronic, it can have far-reaching consequences for both physical and mental health. Chronic gut inflammation often occurs when the delicate ecosystem of beneficial and harmful bacteria is thrown off balance, allowing pathogenic bacteria to overgrow and produce toxins. These toxins can irritate the intestinal lining, weaken its protective barrier, and trigger immune responses that further fuel inflammation. Over time, this creates a cycle where the gut lining becomes increasingly compromised and the inflammatory response escalates. The integrity of the gut lining is critical because it acts as a barrier between the contents of the intestines and the rest of the body. When this barrier is damaged, a condition often referred to as leaky gut can develop. In a leaky gut, tiny gaps form between the cells lining the intestines, allowing undigested food particles, toxins, and bacterial byproducts to escape into the bloodstream. Once these substances enter circulation, the immune system detects them as foreign invaders and mounts an inflammatory response. This systemic inflammation can affect multiple organs and systems, including the brain, demonstrating how problems in the gut can extend far beyond digestion. Leaky gut and chronic inflammation have a profound effect on brain function and emotional health. Inflammatory molecules from the gut can travel through the bloodstream and reach the brain, where they influence the production and regulation of neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and gamma-aminobutyric acid play a critical role in mood regulation, motivation, and cognitive function. When these chemical messengers are disrupted by inflammatory signals, individuals may experience symptoms such as persistent sadness, anxiety, brain fog, fatigue, or low motivation. This connection helps explain why digestive issues and mood disorders often appear together, highlighting the critical role that gut health plays in overall mental well-being. Several lifestyle factors contribute to gut inflammation, making it a widespread concern. Diet is one of the most significant contributors. Consuming highly processed foods, refined sugars, and artificial additives can feed harmful bacteria while depriving beneficial bacteria of nutrients they need to thrive. Chronic stress is another powerful factor, as elevated cortisol levels can increase gut permeability and further promote inflammation. Poor sleep, sedentary behavior, and certain medications, including antibiotics, can also disrupt the balance of the microbiome and intensify inflammatory responses. When these factors combine, they create an environment in the gut that favors harmful bacteria and keeps the inflammatory cycle active. Healing the gut and reducing inflammation requires addressing the root causes of imbalance. Supporting the growth of beneficial bacteria through a diet rich in fiber, fermented foods, and whole nutrient-dense meals helps restore microbial balance. Managing stress through mindfulness. Meditation or physical activity can reduce cortisol levels and protect the gut lining. Adequate sleep allows the body to repair and regenerate tissues, including those in the digestive tract, and moderating the use of medications that disrupt gut flora can prevent further imbalance. Over time, these steps help calm inflammation, strengthen the gut lining, and restore proper communication between the gut and the brain. As inflammation in the gut decreases, many individuals notice improvements not only in digestion but also in mood, energy levels, and cognitive clarity. Reducing gut inflammation allows the immune system to operate more efficiently without overreacting to harmless substances, or while the beneficial bacteria help maintain a balanced production of neurotransmitters. By restoring this balance, the gut can once again support healthy brain function, demonstrating that emotional and mental health are closely tied to the state of the digestive system. This growing understanding underscores the importance of addressing gut inflammation as a key factor in overall well-being, highlighting how deeply interconnected our gut and brain truly are. Chronic inflammation in the gut does not stay confined to the digestive system. It can trigger a cascade of effects throughout the entire body, including the brain. One of the primary ways this happens is through the immune system. A significant portion of the body's immune cells are located in the gut, which makes sense because the digestive system is constantly exposed to foreign substances from food, bacteria, and environmental factors. When the gut becomes inflamed, these immune cells release chemical messengers known as cytokines. Cytokines are intended to protect the body by coordinating immune responses, but when they are produced in excess due to chronic inflammation, they can create problems elsewhere in the body. these molecules can enter the bloodstream and reach the brain, where they interfere with the normal production and function of neurotransmitters that regulate mood, motivation, and cognition. The impact of these inflammatory molecules on the brain can be profound. Neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and gamma-aminobutyric acid play critical roles in maintaining emotional stability, controlling stress responses, and supporting cognitive function. When inflammation alters the balance of these neurotransmitters, individuals may experience a range of symptoms such as persistent sadness, anxiety, mental fatigue, and difficulty concentrating. This process explains why people who suffer from chronic digestive issues often report feelings of depression, brain fog, or low motivation, creating a clear link between gut health and mental well-being. Stress is another factor that amplifies the effects of gut inflammation on the brain. Chronic stress triggers the release of cortisol, a hormone that influences nearly every system in the body, including the gut. Elevated cortisol levels can increase gut permeability, allowing more toxins and inflammatory molecules to leak into the bloodstream. This not only worsens inflammation in the digestive system, but also sends stronger inflammatory signals to the brain, or reinforcing a cycle where stress and gut imbalance feed each other. Over time, this can create a persistent state of low-grade systemic inflammation that affects both physical and mental health. Diet also plays a significant role in influencing inflammation in the gut-brain connection. Highly processed foods, excess sugar, and artificial additives can disrupt the balance of bacteria in the gut, allowing harmful species to proliferate while reducing beneficial bacteria. This imbalance can trigger inflammatory responses and compromise the gut lining. Conversely, a nutrient-rich diet that includes fiber, fermented foods, and antioxidants can support beneficial bacteria, reduce inflammation, and strengthen communication between the gut and the brain. The quality of the diet directly influences the level of inflammatory signals reaching the nervous system and can impact mood, focus, and emotional resilience. Sleep and physical activity further contribute to this intricate relationship. Poor sleep increases systemic inflammation and disrupts the gut microbiome, making the brain more vulnerable to inflammatory signals. Regular exercise helps regulate immune function, improve circulation, and support a healthy balance of gut bacteria, which can mitigate inflammation and reduce the impact of harmful signals on the brain. By addressing these lifestyle factors, it is possible to reduce the inflammatory load on both the gut and the brain, improving mood, mental clarity, and overall well-being. Ultimately, chronic gut inflammation illustrates how interconnected the body truly is. What begins as a localized imbalance in the digestive system can trigger widespread effects that reach the brain, altering neurotransmitter function and influencing emotional and cognitive health. By understanding this link, it becomes clear that addressing gut inflammation is not just about improving digestion, but is also a critical factor in supporting mental resilience, emotional stability, and long-term brain health. Stress plays a powerful role in the delicate balance between the gut and the brain, influencing both digestive health and emotional well-being. When the body experiences stress, it releases cortisol, the primary stress hormone, which affects nearly every system in the body. While cortisol is essential for short-term survival responses, chronic stress leads to prolonged elevated levels that can disrupt normal physiological processes. In the gut, high cortisol levels can weaken the intestinal lining, making it more permeable and susceptible to inflammation. This condition, often referred to as leaky gut, allows toxins, bacteria, or other inflammatory molecules to pass from the intestines into the bloodstream, which can trigger systemic inflammation and affect other organs, including the brain. Over time, this cycle of stress-induced gut disruption can contribute to both physical discomfort and emotional disturbances. Stress does not only affect the gut structurally, but also alters its microbial composition. Beneficial bacteria, which are essential for digestion, immune regulation, and neurotransmitter production, can decline under chronic stress, while harmful bacteria may proliferate. This imbalance, known as dysbiosis, can exacerbate gut inflammation and weaken the communication between the gut and the brain through the gut-brain axis. As the gut sends more inflammatory signals to the brain, individuals may notice symptoms such as anxiety, mood swings, irritability, low motivation, or brain fog. Essentially, stress can create a feedback loop where an unhealthy gut amplifies the effects of stress on mental health, and mental stress continues to harm gut health in return. The interplay between stress and gut inflammation also affects the production of critical neurotransmitters, chemicals such as serotonin, dopamine, and gamma aminobutyric acid, which regulate mood. Emotional balance and cognitive function can be disrupted by inflammatory signals originating from the gut. Serotonin, in particular, is largely produced in the gut, and an inflamed digestive system can interfere with its synthesis and signaling. When these neurotransmitters are imbalanced, individuals are more likely to experience feelings of sadness, anxiety, mental fatigue, or difficulty concentrating. This connection helps explain why stress-related mental health issues are often accompanied by digestive discomfort or irregularities, or highlighting the inseparable link between emotional and gut health. Lifestyle factors can either worsen or alleviate the effects of stress on the gut. Diet, for example, plays a crucial role in determining how resilient the gut is under stress. Highly processed foods, excess sugar, and poor quality diets can feed harmful bacteria and increase inflammation. While fiber-rich, nutrient-dense, and fermented foods support beneficial bacteria and help maintain gut integrity. Similarly, regular physical activity can reduce stress levels, improve blood flow to the digestive system, and support microbial diversity, which in turn helps mitigate inflammation. Mindfulness practices, meditation, and adequate sleep also help regulate cortisol levels, protect the gut lining, and enhance the body's ability to recover from stress. By understanding how chronic stress influences the gut, it becomes clear that mental and emotional health cannot be treated in isolation. Healing the gut while managing stress through lifestyle changes can restore balance to both the digestive system and the brain, supporting the microbiome, reducing inflammation. Normal and regulating cortisol levels work together to strengthen the gut-brain communication network. Over time, this approach can improve mood, enhance mental clarity, increase emotional resilience, and promote a healthier relationship between mind and body. Or recognizing the role of stress in gut health emphasizes the need to address both physiological and psychological factors when aiming for overall well-being, showing that the path to emotional stability often begins in the digestive system. Physical activity is a powerful factor in supporting both gut health and mental well-being, and its effects extend far beyond simple calorie burning or cardiovascular fitness. Regular exercise has been shown to improve circulation, enhance the function of the digestive system, and support the balance of beneficial bacteria within the gut. When the gut microbiome is diverse and balanced, it helps regulate inflammation, supports the production of essential neurotransmitters, and strengthens the communication between the gut and the brain through the gut-brain axis. This means that movement not only affects physical health, but also plays a critical role in maintaining emotional resilience and cognitive function. Even moderate forms of exercise, such as walking, yoga, or light strength training, can produce measurable benefits for the gut and brain over time. Exercise influences the gut microbiome in multiple ways. Physical activity promotes the growth of beneficial bacteria, which in turn helps maintain the integrity of the intestinal lining and reduces inflammation. A strong gut lining prevents toxins and harmful bacteria from leaking into the bloodstream, lowering systemic inflammation and reducing the likelihood of inflammatory signals reaching the brain. By keeping the microbiome balanced, exercise indirectly supports the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and gamma aminobutyric acid, which regulate mood, motivation, and stress responses. In this way, regular movement can help protect against feelings of anxiety, depression, and cognitive fatigue, creating a feedback loop where a healthy gut supports mental well-being and improved mental well-being encourages continued physical activity. Beyond its effects on gut bacteria, exercise also helps regulate the body's immune response. Physical activity enhances immune function, helping the body manage inflammation more effectively. Chronic low-grade inflammation, often associated with poor diet, stress, or sedentary behavior, can negatively impact both gut health and brain function. By keeping inflammatory responses under control, regular movement supports a healthier gut environment and protects the brain from the harmful effects of systemic inflammation. This is particularly important because inflammation originating in the gut can interfere with neurotransmitter production and disrupt the signals that maintain emotional balance. Exercise also plays a role in stress management, which is closely tied to gut health. Physical activity reduces cortisol levels, the stress hormone that can compromise the gut lining, disrupt the microbiome, and increase inflammation. When cortisol levels are regulated through consistent movement, the gut is better able to maintain a healthy barrier and support beneficial bacteria, which further stabilizes emotional and cognitive function. Additionally, exercise encourages the release of endorphins, natural mood-boosting chemicals, which can enhance feelings of well-being and provide mental clarity. Sleep quality is another aspect influenced by regular physical activity. Individuals who engage in consistent exercise often experience deeper, more restorative sleep, which helps repair tissues in the gut lining and maintain microbiome balance. Adequate sleep also supports immune function, lowers inflammation, and enhances the production of neurotransmitters critical for mood regulation. Together, exercise, sleep, and gut health form an interconnected network that supports overall well-being. Ultimately, physical activity demonstrates that lifestyle habits have a profound impact on both the digestive system and the brain. By promoting beneficial bacteria, reducing inflammation, regulating stress hormones, and enhancing sleep quality, exercise strengthens the gut-brain axis and improves mental resilience. Over time, this leads to better mood, greater emotional stability, improved cognitive function, and a stronger connection between the body and mind. Regular movement is not simply a tool for fitness. It is a critical component of holistic health that nurtures both gut and brain function, showing how closely physical and mental well-being are intertwined. Healing the gut and supporting mental health often go hand in hand because the digestive system and the brain are intimately connected through the gut-brain axis. When the gut is balanced and healthy, it produces fewer inflammatory molecules, supports the growth of beneficial bacteria, and communicates more effectively with the brain. This improved communication helps regulate mood, motivation, and cognitive function. Restoring gut health requires addressing multiple aspects of lifestyle and environment, from diet and sleep to stress management and physical activity, because each factor influences the microbiome and the integrity of the intestinal lining. By creating conditions that support beneficial gut bacteria and reduce inflammation, the body can maintain a more stable environment for both physical and emotional well-being. One of the most effective ways to support gut health is through diet. Consuming whole, nutrient-dense foods, rich in fiber, antioxidants, and natural probiotics nourishes the beneficial bacteria that live in the intestines. Fiber provides essential fuel for these microbes, allowing them to produce compounds like short-chain fatty acids that maintain the gut lining and reduce inflammation. Fermented foods such as yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi introduce live bacteria into the digestive system, further enhancing microbial diversity. Reducing processed foods, excess sugar, or artificial additives minimizes the growth of harmful bacteria that contribute to inflammation, creating a healthier gut environment that supports emotional stability. Stress management is another crucial component in healing the gut. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which can weaken the gut lining, disrupt microbial balance, and trigger inflammatory responses that affect the brain. Practices such as mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga, or simply taking regular breaks can help regulate stress hormones and protect the gut from the harmful effects of chronic stress. By calming the nervous system, these practices also improve brain communication, allowing signals between the digestive system and the brain to flow more smoothly and support better mood regulation. Sleep plays an equally important role in gut restoration. During deep restorative sleep, the body repairs tissues, balances hormones, and regulates immune function, all of which influence gut health. Poor sleep disrupts the microbiome, increases inflammation, and reduces the production of mood-regulating neurotransmitters. Maintaining consistent sleep patterns and prioritizing quality rest helps the gut recover from stress and inflammation, ensuring that beneficial bacteria thrive and that gut-brain communication remains strong. Physical activity is another powerful tool for supporting gut and brain health. Exercise improves circulation, reduces systemic inflammation, and promotes the growth of beneficial gut bacteria. It also helps regulate stress hormones, enhance sleep quality, and support neurotransmitter balance. Even moderate movement like walking, stretching, or light strength training can strengthen the gut-brain connection and improve emotional and cognitive resilience over time. By combining these lifestyle practices, nutrient-rich diet, stress management, quality sleep, and regular exercise, the gut begins to heal, inflammation decreases, and the microbiome becomes more balanced. As the gut improves, the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin stabilizes, inflammatory signals are reduced, more, and the brain receives more positive signals from the digestive system. Over time, this leads to better mood, increased mental clarity, higher motivation, and improved emotional resilience. Understanding that mental health and gut health are deeply intertwined emphasizes that treating one system often benefits the other, or in that a holistic approach addressing both body and mind is essential for lasting well-being.